Hi, guys. Guys, we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm nervy. I'm nervous, okay? And I'm winded for no reason because I've just been sitting here. Welcome to Bizzy Girl Era. I don't even know. I don't know where to start. First, I just want to express how excited I am for this new chapter. A little bit about the reason why I started this podcast. If you guys are looking at this podcast and you're like, hey girl, why are there so many episodes before this? I get the confusion. My sister and I actually had a podcast that we started during COVID, and it was called Positively Enlightened. And I was going back and forth because I have been wanting to start a podcast again, but I honestly was really insecure about it. I was like, people are going to be like, why does she have so many random side hustles and content and all these things? And is she coming out with her coffee even that she keeps mentioning? And I just got really insecure about the whole thing and was feeling kind of guilty about it, which I'll get into. Also, you're probably like, why are we in her car right now? Which I'll also get to. So the podcast my sister and I had was called Positively Enlightened, and it was really fun, actually. It was a good, bonding experience with both of us. We were both living together and just really bored during COVID, and we were trying to stay positive, which, as we know, it was a really difficult time. We had a bunch of different guests on. We had people from The Bachelor and Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise on. We had different health experts on and doctors and numerology and people that knew about astrology. And I loved that part of it, getting to connect with different people from all different walks of life. It was really cool. She's now living in Orange County and I'm in Bakersfield, so it's too hard. We're both really passionate about developing different businesses right now. I'm trying to launch my coffee company. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm coming out with dairy-free lattes at some point. Okay, I'll get into all that. I know I just keep putting out different teasers, but I swear they're coming out one day. And I swear that I'm working my ass off. Another thing about this podcast, not to sound like Miranda Cosgrove, but I do want to cuss a little bit. Really want this place to be a place where I can be really vulnerable and open with you guys and share more than I can in a 90-second Instagram reel. I want to keep it really open and honest on here and be the most real version of myself, if that makes sense. Not that the Instagram version of me isn't, that is me. It's just another side to me. Obviously, I barely anyone shares the lows of on Instagram or even TikTok sometimes, so I just really want to keep this as vulnerable and open as possible, which makes me incredibly nervous, but we're going to go with it. Well, I'm starting my coffee company. She's actually building a wellness club in Orange County, which I'm excited to share more details with you guys about soon. It sounds amazing. I've only seen behind the scenes photos of everything and the construction and what is that called? Renovating process, but it's looking amazing, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. I was really debating if I should keep the episodes on there or not because it's just such a different version of me. I feel like every year especially I change so much every year to where I'm I barely recognize last year's version of myself, and that just keeps happening every year, and I'm honestly waiting for it to stop, but also I think that's a part of growth, so I'm not mad about it. And I ended up, as you guys can see, not deleting the episodes because I wanted to acknowledge that is a chapter in my life, and I was so figuring out things then. I still am, okay? I'm still in my 20s and don't know so many things. This is not going to be, some episodes hopefully will be educational, but I just didn't want to erase that past chapter of my life because were so many good memories and lessons that I learned during those, however long it was running for. I actually looked at it the other day and it said we had over 5,000 downloads, and I was like, that's so crazy. So I asked my sister for her approval, and she was like, yeah, go for it. We already had some subscribers on there, so just start Bizzy Girl Era on there, because this really feels like a new era in my life, and I'm busier than I've ever been, which is such a crazy time for me to start this podcast because it's coming out on February 17th. If you're listening February 17th, shout out you. I love you. What you probably don't know, well, now you do, spoiler, is that I'm recording this 2 days before. I had plans to record it 2 weeks before, and then it became one of the busiest weeks of the year, and the year just started, and it just got so hectic and crazy, and now it's 2 days before. But that's how life is sometimes. It's really busy, but I knew I had a rough outline in my head of what I wanted this episode to be. And then I actually came up with it in the shower. I feel like all my good ideas come to me in the shower. Even the name. I was like doodling on the like shower wall thing, and I was coming up with names, and I was like, what are some things that just describe my life right now? And I was like, well, gosh, I'm really busy. And I really feel like I'm in my Bizzy Girl era. And I also had this song in my head, I had the song, I'm in my pretty girl era. And then I kept replacing the word pretty with busy. And I kept saying, I'm in my busy girl era. And that just got so stuck in my head. I was like, oh, I can have a podcast called that. And then I just got hooked on the idea. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next episode. Really just wanted to do more long form conversations where you guys get an inside look in my life and to show you guys that I obviously do not have everything all figured out. Sometimes it looks that way on Instagram, like I said, but I just really wanted to. I just love talking to you guys in the DMs, and that just was not enough for me. I was like, I want to come on and express all my thoughts and feelings that happen in a space to think out loud where we can grow together, share tips together. And again, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you can probably see that we built such a community together of all of my followers. So many of them are local too, and it's been such an incredible experience. So I wanted to transition into something bigger and more long form. I listen to a lot of random comfort podcasts, from girls just chatting to conspiracy theories to self-help, and it's kind of all over the place. And I kind of love it. So that's kind of what this podcast is going to be. I think we'll see together. It really is like an adventure that we're experiencing together. So I'm so grateful for everyone listening to this first episode / rebrand / everything else. Now, why I decided to start this podcast and what made me take the leap. Honestly, I was so sick of seeing comments under TikTok videos of podcast clips where people would say, make podcast equipment more expensive. Most time it was men saying it too, which just really pissed me off. And they'd be commenting it on girls' podcasts. And I was like, that's so infuriating, because why are you commenting this at all? I get it if someone's spreading false information, but I hated that they were commenting under their videos, because if you don't like something, I'm like, just scroll. I don't get why they felt the need to spread that negativity. And I keep seeing that comment come up more and more and more under people's podcasts. So I decided to start a podcast because it's such a cathartic experience. Like when I create stuff on social media, and even when I used to edit like the podcast back with my sister, it was so fun to be able to come on and just express our thoughts and feelings out loud. And yeah, there's some that I look back on and I'm like, actually, I disagree with what I said 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And that's just a part of life. So it's just really annoying comment to me. So don't make podcast equipment more expensive. If you don't like it, just scroll. It's really not that deep, but I guess it is. Like I'm talking about it. I also feel like I felt kind of guilty about starting this podcast because, like I mentioned, I have so many other things and side projects that I'm working on and businesses I'm trying to develop and grow. And I often feel guilty almost for having so many passions because I get afraid that like maybe I won't be taken as seriously, or I don't know, I just feel guilty. And I think there's such a pressure on us, especially as girls in our 20s and 30s. Like there's so much pressure to find your niche, to find your job. Are you taking the career path? Are you having kids? Are you married already? There's just so much pressure to be polished, and just so much comparison in our day and age of like, we're always on our phones. I'm always on my phone. And I just feel like there's so much pressure to know exactly who you are and what you want to be. And anytime I see someone, anytime I see someone, family or friends, like, what are you working on now? Where do you work? Where is this? I don't even know how to describe it. I'm like, content, but also like I'm trying to start this thing. But then they ask me how my coffee business is going. And I'm like, well, actually it hasn't even come out yet. And I'm just constantly feeling so guilty for no reason. And I figured if I'm feeling this, I know that there's got to be so many other people out there feeling this, where maybe you're not happy in your 9 to 5. Maybe you're not happy in your side hustle. Like no one's happy all the time. And that's how a lot of us look on social media. I know I'm guilty of it. Like obviously, and I'm trying to get better at it. And to be more vulnerable even on there. But it's hard. It's scary. This is arguably scarier, but I don't know. I wanted to really challenge myself this year and not feel guilty about starting something new. Like, even if you start a podcast and quit it the next week, no, I won't be doing that to you guys. But even if you do, like, that's okay. Like, I feel like life is all about trying new things and having fun and playing. So I just don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to be 80 and be like, oh, I should have started that podcast I thought of. Like that is going to make me so sad. So that's another reason that we're here. We is me, and we're here. I wanted to come on here to also express that it's normal and okay not to just pick one thing and not to put yourself in a box like I keep trying to do for some reason. I also forgot to mention why we are in my car. So my car for me has always been a safe space. Like I remember even before I turned 16, 17 and got my car, I remember looking forward to it so much just to have this space that's mine and feels just comforting and safe. I love that I can just drive, sing at the top of my lungs. I feel like I get a lot of ideas in the car when I'm driving. I feel like it's almost this is my flow. Like driving, I am always the friend that wants to drive. I'm almost always the one driving out of everyone. Part of it's the reason I got into a car crash and I wasn't driving. So now I'm like, I'll drive. I'll be the one to drive because I have anxiety that's healing. But other than that, I really like, there's something about the car that just feels so safe to me. And that's how my videos on Instagram, the ones that started to blow up a little bit, that's how I started, was filming in the car. So it's also just really nostalgic because even though that was only 2-ish years ago, I love that I could just pop my phone out and start recording. This first one's actually filmed on a phone. I was going to be fancy and attempt to use a Canva. I'm obsessed with Canva. Sorry. A camera. Canva's always on my mind. I was going to use a camera and I was like, honestly, I don't want to figure out how to set all that up. Like, I think that's going to give me a headache. We will transition into it one day, but right now I just wanted to keep it pretty, I just wanted to keep it simple and start out simple and again, grow together, grow from there. So welcome to my car. You know, this first episode's kind of all over the place. I just have so many thoughts that I want to share with you guys. But what you guys can expect from this podcast, I want to talk about, honestly, a variety of topics. This first one, again, all over the place. The second one, I want to do a Q&A to kind of introduce myself. If you are a new listener, old listener, maybe just started following me, or maybe you've been following me for a while and just have some questions that you want to ask me. So I'll be posting a poll on my Instagram. Not a poll. That's a lie. That's a lie right there. I'll be posting a little question Q&A thing on my Instagram story, probably a couple days in case you guys miss it. So feel free to ask me any questions that you want, and I'll try to get to all of them in the next episode so we can kind of start from scratch and also get kind of deep and just share things that I don't usually share on Instagram. So any questions, if you want to ask one, ask one. If you want to ask 5, go crazy, ask 5, ask 10. I want to know what you guys want to know about me and also what you want the next episodes of this podcast to look like. I want to create this together, and I want it to be something that we're all a part of, you know? Guys, why am I winded? I'm sitting down in this car. Maybe we need some coffee. Actually, that's probably a lie. I've definitely had too much coffee today because I've kept procrastinating this podcast. And again, I felt so much pressure to try to make it perfect. And I actually have been taking this business course at BC. And there's this one coach there that I really, really like. I'm not going to drop her name in case she doesn't want to be outed. I don't know why she wouldn't, but just in case, I won't say her name yet. But I really, really like all these little advice nuggets that she gives. And one of the things she was telling to this room full of like entrepreneurs, small, large businesses, she was saying, sometimes you just have to start. It's okay if you don't see the full path in front of you. As long as you can see the next step, just take that next step and then take it again and take it again. And that has been in my mind every single day because I didn't realize how much of a planner I was and how I had this whole path in my mind, especially when I had this idea for Bizzy Bean, the canned latte business. I keep saying I'm trying to start. I am starting it. The canned latte business I'm creating. I had this thought in my head when I first started it. I was like, oh, it's going to take this amount of time to do this, and then I'll do marketing, and then I'll launch in this date. Oh, how wrong I was. There's so many business people I know that are like, yep, that's how it goes. And I think it is just like a part of this learning lesson, which again, I'll go so in depth with in another episode. I honestly don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, it's like it's okay just to start things if you can't see the full path in front of you, which can be hard for some of us, a lot of us. But I just want to show you guys that it's okay. And also, who the hell cares? Like, just go for it. Just start something. Just try it. Like, don't have any regrets, you know? And I'm sure this podcast will develop into something more, I don't want to say niche. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Like, maybe it will develop into something like more niche, but I want to have the next episode be a Q&A like I mentioned, and then after that I want to kind of go straight into guests. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'll get addicted to just doing solo episodes from there. And again, it honestly depends on what you guys want to see. I think it would be really cool to have some like start with some small business owners that I know and that I'm friends with, because I've met so many incredible people these past couple of years and have gotten so much closer to so many people in the community. And I could, like, there's so many guests that I have in my noggin that I want to have on, and so you guys can hear more about their stories and also just more about them. One of my favorite things about creating content has been going to different small businesses around town and asking them how they got started. And it honestly inspired me to start my own business. But it's been really cool to hear their stories, how the idea formed to get where they are now. And I love hearing about everyone's stories, and I think that you guys will too. So I think that'd be really cool to have those guests on. I also want to fill you guys in with life updates, things that, again, I don't show on Instagram or TikTok. And possibly chaotic episodes like this one every now and then, and bonus episodes. I'm planning right now, just so we can get a good start on things, to post twice a month, every other Tuesday. I wanted to do every week. Honestly, at one point I was like, should I do twice a week? And then I was like, okay, I'm getting a little bit too bold. I'll start out slow and then we'll go from there. If you guys want more episodes, I'll adapt, I'll adjust, I'll get them out there. And if you guys want less, just don't listen. But I just have so many fun ideas for this podcast that I can't wait to share. And I can't wait for you guys to be a part of. Again, thank you so much for listening. I can't wait for the Q&A, honestly, to hear what you guys want to ask me, or it could be advice, questions, literally anything, and I'll do my best to answer. And also comments about what you want this podcast to be in, like what you want to see on this podcast. We are in our Bizzy Girl Era. Am I gonna get copyrighted? Is that an issue? I gotta look that up. I even want to take calls in the future, possibly. So there's just so many things that I'm so excited for. There's one thing I wanted to end with. The 2016 trend. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about on Instagram. People kept sharing different photo dumps of them in 2016 with all these filters on. And at first I was like, this is cringe. I was literally, I didn't like it. Also because 2016 was just not the best era for me in my life. So I was like, get this away. I don't need this PTSD coming online every day and seeing this. And I honestly was off my phone for quite a bit of time while that trend was at its peak. And I kept skipping all of them. And then I started giving in and looking at some people's photo dumps because they're pretty interesting. And I was like, dang, we used to try so hard in 2016. And first I was kind of cringing, oh, we used to use all these filters. We used to do this and all this wacky editing. Then I was like, dang, how fun was that though? That was so fun to try. And I don't know if it's a pre-COVID thing, but I feel like it got kind of embarrassing almost to be seen as trying. And I know that's why I was afraid to post on social media at first. A lot of people probably don't know this, but I actually deleted my past account that I had that had friends from even junior high, high school, and college on it, and I deleted it. Because I was so scared. I changed the name to something. It was I changed the name 7 different times before actually making it my name. It was Maya part 4, part 3, mostly because I kept forgetting my password and changing it to different parts. But I feel it became seen as embarrassing. Oh, she's trying. Why did that become embarrassing? Oh, she's trying to start her Instagram. Look at her. Oh, she's trying to grow her followers. Yeah, babe, I am. Why would I not? Why would I not? Posting is something that I've always found to be really fun. Even when I was little, and please don't look these up, I would post silly YouTube videos with my sister. And it's always just been such a fun thing for me to do. And I don't know, maybe it was even a high school thing where it became seen as embarrassing to try. Honestly, I don't remember, and hopefully it's something that we can dive into together and that maybe you guys can even help me figure out. But I want to start trying again. Especially the more I post on Instagram, on TikTok, I'm sure on here too, I'm going to start, I have started already, appreciating and applauding people that do try. There's something that goes off in my brain every time, or at least it used to be really strong, where I would see someone starting to post and I would find myself being kind of judgmental of them. And then I would look in the mirror and be like, girl, that's you. You are trying. You are posting. And that's another reason I wanted to start this podcast. There's so many reasons, obviously. But that's another reason I want to start this podcast, to show you guys it's okay to try, because at the end of the day, it just has to make sense for you. Like that button girl on TikTok. If you know, you know. It only has to make sense to you at the end of the day. So, yeah. As we know, or as we can tell from this episode, if you don't know me, from Instagram or TikTok, I am a yapper, and I'm so excited to yap together, guys. Okay, keep a lookout for my Q&A on Instagram. I'll be posting on my story. I'll also be posting it on the podcast story. So if you guys want to follow, my Instagram account is @MayaSalinas. And if you want to follow the podcast account, it's @Bizzy Girl Era. Guys, this is really exciting. Thank you for being here. And I hope this becomes your comfort podcast, background noise in the back, whatever you want it to be. This is for you. This is for us. We're in our Bizzy Girl era. I'll see you guys 2 Tuesdays from now. Bye.